Hi, I'm Valerie with Gessner Estate Jewelry, and I just wanted to say we are going places with Ricc Rollins, and you should come along.
Thanks a lot, Valerie. Make sure that you stop by Gessner's. There's always something that sparkles and dazzles there. I'm Ricc Rollins, and welcome to this edition of Going Places. Here's what's coming up on today's show. We talk travel plans for the holidays with Mark Jenkins from AAA. And then it's things to do for the holiday with our own Laura Byrne from Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine. And we talk microchipping your pet with our pet vet, Dr. Nabuki. All of this and more, starting, you guessed it, right now. Well, the holidays are fast approaching. In fact, you're probably already into the crux of it all. But according to our friends at AAA, 2.1 million of you will be on the road in Florida alone. But the good news is that the gas prices are down. And here to talk about it is our friend Mark. Well, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rick. How are you?
I'm doing well. Okay, so let's talk about this 2.1 million people on the road.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to be record numbers. I mean, when you're taking a look at these numbers, they're much higher than last year and exceeding pre-pandemic levels. So a lot of enthusiasm. And ultimately, if you are planning a trip for Memorial Day weekend, you should expect the roads to be busy. So we certainly suggest that you leave early if you can. Allow yourself extra time to get to where you need to go, because if you're running behind, speeding, you might be taking some of those unnecessary risks while behind the wheel that could leave you in a really tough situation.
And that's very true. So we hear that gas is going to be down. So of course, more people are going to want to go somewhere. So Mark, let's talk about preparedness. What, like you said, leaving early, that's always number one with you. I knew that before you even said it. So what else should we do to be prepared, well prepared?
Yeah, I think it's really going to depend on what type of trip you're taking, right? So
Mhm.
if you're driving, then you want to leave early because it's the afternoon, those early evening hours where the roads tend to be the busiest, right? If you're taking
Mhm.
a flight, then you want to arrive to the airport at least 2 to 3 hours early so you can have enough time to get through the security lines. If you can carry on luggage, that's going to be a lot better than checking a bag because that's just going to add extra time as well. And of course, you want to make sure and download your airline's app onto your phone so you can continue to
Yes.
monitor your flight status. That way, if anything changes, then you can certainly be in the loop on that.
That's right. That's very good advice. So, can I ask you, Mark, because I guess if anybody knows where they're going, where are people planning to go for the holidays?
You know, it's across the board, and it really depends on where you're set up, right? So,
Mhm.
for Floridians, it can be so easy just to take a short road trip to Orlando, South Florida. Some of the world's most beautiful beaches are right here in our backyard, and that's really
Right
why
here. Yeah.
Central That's why Central Florida just tends to be, the number one destination for travelers. Las Vegas is actually a very popular spot. New York, the Carolinas. So it really does run the gamut.
Wow. Okay, Mark. So, one of the things that I love about AAA is, and it's been around since I was a kid, and it's been a long time, is the triptych and how you all make sure that we know where we're going. So, is that something that you offer members and non-members, or is it just members only?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you can certainly visit our website to check out, and with that, you can get some assistance with planning out your trip. You can
Mhm.
also use the AAA mobile app. That is free to download. There are some limitations based on whether you're a AAA member or not. But I mean, if you're ever in a pinch and you need some advice, you can always call one of our travel advisors. I mean, they really do have their finger on the pulse of what is happening out there in the world. There's a lot of demand out there right now with summer travel. All the restrictions are gone now from the pandemic, and
Mhm.
so the world has really reopened.
It's opened up.
So there's a lot of enthusiasm out there right now from Americans who are traveling again, but also from people who from all around the world that are looking to come to the United States and
True.
visit. So there's a lot of demand for hotels, cruises, attractions, theme parks. So you name it. All the more reason that you want to have, a trusted advisor right there on your side. They can tell you, what's popular right now. And if you're looking to do something a little bit more off the beaten path, they can make suggestions for you there as well.
Okay. So, Mark, in the last couple of minutes that we have, what would you tell the person who has not listened to you and watched the show like they should? How do we still
take advantage of this weekend, even though we haven't prepared in the best? Are there some last minute ways to still make sure that this weekend is memorable?
Yeah, I mean, it of course is going to depend on where you are, what your budget
Right.
is.
Mhm.
If you're looking for a multi-night stay, then you're probably not going to be able to find those great deals that you may have been able to find in recent years. I think that it's just extremely important to lock in your plans as early as you can, because with each passing day that you get closer to your travel date, there's going to be less availability, and as availability shrinks, then that price tag just gets higher.
Right. So if you didn't prepare, get ready to be frustrated. It's as simple as that. You're going places, start. My friend always tells you to prepare early. So
Absolutely.
if you miss out on Memorial Day, 4th of July is your next opportunity. Mark, as
There you go.
always, it is a joy having you with us. Here's the QR code so you can give information about AAA. And Mark, we'll see you, I guess, in July. Thanks a
All
lot.
right, Rick.
Take
Thank
care
you.
now.
When we come back, we'll talk with our own Laura Byrne about the things that you should be doing this holiday weekend. Stay tuned.
There she is. She's Laura Byrne, and she's in the house. It's been too long, Laura.
Way too long. I know life is just going by like this, right? I mean, hard
Yes,
to
it
believe we're
is.
already here, summer break.
It is. It is. I'm like, my gosh, kids will be out of school soon, and
Yeah, they are out of school. It's crazy. I know.
it is like, oh, okay. And they're in the mall, and they're driving me crazy. They're
Yeah,
riding
I'm
bikes in
sure.
the
I'm
mall. They're
sure.
riding bikes in the mall, but they don't understand. The mayor of the mall is in is in the house. I'm snatching
Yep.
bikes this week. I promise you that. Okay, so now that the parents going, so that's the guy. Oh yeah, we're going to the mall.
He'll watch my kids for me. He'll control them. Yeah, he's got it.
So tell me, how are you doing? Are you ready for summer?
Oh, so ready. I know it's kind of like it's just a different kind of crazy in the summertime, but we are definitely ready for the break, ready to get away, go have some fun, enjoy some family time. And honestly, Rick, this summer is amazing in Tampa Bay. There are so many awesome things. And the great thing is we live where the world comes to play.
This is true. Now you know that is Kristen Hare's motto. You know, we need to be tourists in our own town. So this is
Yeah.
where we do that. Talk about going places.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of, we have one of the top beaches in the country right here, according to Dr. Beach, Calidussie Island State Park, named one of the top 10 beaches in the country. It was a number 4. We think it's more of a number 1 spot, but that's okay. Maybe we're a little biased here, but it's one of our favorite beaches too, to go with the kids. And you hop on the ferry from Honeymoon Island. You can spend a day there. It's a little more secluded because it's a little harder to get to. So it's not as busy as, let's say, Clearwater Beach, but it really truly is you have my favorite places because you have all the comforts. You still have restrooms. You can still rent a beach chair and an umbrella.
Oh,
It's
wow.
nice.
Now, see, you're giving me ideas because I was supposed to go away for a week, and that got
Why
canceled
go
due to
away?
schedules.
Stay
And
here. Go to the
I'm
beach.
thinking, yes, I think I'm gonna get my good old sunblock because yes, we do tan, folks.
Oh
We
yeah,
do.
everybody should be using
And
sun protection.
sunblock. Yes,
Absolutely.
exactly. And I may just go do that. Get me a beach chair and an umbrella
Uh-huh.
and just
Yep.
chill. Yes, that's what I want to do because the mall is open on Monday. Everybody's like, is the mall gonna be closed? No, they don't close. So
Yeah. Never
they will be
closes,
here.
right?
I will not be here. Laura, do you realize that I have not had a vacation since hear what I'm saying, 1986.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Yes,
You
it is time.
deserve some time off.
Definitely is time. People don't believe me when I say that. And so when I do this show called Going Places, I live vicariously through you all, especially our own outdoorsy diva who is away on sabbatical.
Oh, she's amazing. She's doing all these incredible trips. I'm so
Yes,
jealous.
she's going to be a nomad. And I'm like, oh, girl, send the stories, send the stories, send the stories. But I am so glad to have you on. It has been too long. I don't think we've had you on since February.
It probably has been that long. I know, like I said, time
Way
is
too
just
long.
going by.
Yeah, because the last time we were on, Karima and her adorable little one was on the
Yeah,
cover. So we haven't done anything since
we
then.
were. I know. That was over at Peppa Pig theme park. And of
Yeah,
course, they just introduced something new, by the way, where you could have
really.
breakfast with Peppa now. I mean, if you're wanting
If
to do that character breakfast type of thing, I bet there'll be a lot of happy preschoolers around town to be able to do that.
it's ironic you're having breakfast with bacon. I mean, with Peppa Pig.
No, they actually do not serve bacon or any ham products on
Okay,
their
that's
menu
good because
at theme park.
that would be so insensitive.
That would be a little weird.
Yes,
Yeah,
it would be. It
yeah.
would be. Okay, okay. So all the parents, you can take Peppa Pig, take your
Yes.
kids to Peppa Pig, and there
There's
will
no
be pork.
pepperoni on the pizza there. I think it's like turkey pepperoni or something.
Okay, there we
Yeah,
go. There
yeah.
we go. So let's talk about the things that you alluded to in the beginning. Let's talk about what it is to do while we live in this place that America comes.
And listen, we're talking about America, talking about the world. Well, we have the world's largest fossil triceratops going on display this weekend at Glazer Children's Museum, and
Really?
it is spectacular. And the really cool thing about this, Rick, is, Glazer, you would have to have a child to be able to go to the museum. Well, they're lifting this. They're going to waive that requirement because they want adults to come and experience this too. Now, he's called Big John, the Triceratops. He was purchased by a Tampa family, and they really wanted to put Tampa on the map as a really amazing place to raise families. We know this, but they want to make sure the rest of the world knows
Rest
it.
of the world knows it. That's right.
Yeah. So it's on the third floor. I've seen him. He's amazing. And they have other things to do around there as well.
Really?
Definitely a must do. I don't care how old you are, because I think there's always a little part of us, that little kid
Yeah.
inside who's like, dinosaurs,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's pretty cool.
Well,
Highly
that
recommend
that sounds like it's going to be amazing. Maybe, you know what? Because I am going to take some days off. I think I'm just going to put some of the things that you're telling me about on my schedule, my
Yes.
schedule, and do that. And what we want to do is take our first break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the rest of the things that we're going to do. And we're going to get a preview of this upcoming issue's cover of Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine, because we happen to know somebody on the inside. That would be one Laura Byrne. So more Going Places right after this. Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. And of course, I'm excited because my friend Laura Byrne is in the house telling us about some of the places that we can go this weekend, since it is Memorial Day weekend. I don't know about you, but I am excited because I vowed that in 2023, every holiday that came, I was going to be somewhere other than work. And so I am going to live up to that. So tell me where I should go, Laura Byrne. Please tell me.
Yeah, you know what? This is the last weekend to go experience Bugtopia at Zoo Tampa. Now, I know we're all not into bugs, right? Or a lot of us aren't into bugs, especially here in Florida. We have crazy bugs here in Florida.
We do. Yes, we do.
But through the end of May, Bugtopia, it's been on display for a few months, but if you haven't seen it yet, this is a good weekend to do it. Go see life-size giant bugs. Are animatronics, so they move, they make noise. One even squirts some water at you. One lights up. It's just a really cool exhibit. And then of course, stay and play and visit with the animals. And I always recommend upgrading your day there too, because they have some really cool animal experiences. I know one of our favorites is feeding the rhinoceros. It's the coolest thing. So and you learn a little bit more about how they're able to care for the animals too.
Okay.
But I can definitely go see Bugtopia. That's only through the end of May. So you only have 2 days.
The clock is ticking. Okay.
Clock is ticking.
Bugtopia. Okay. I'm making note to myself, note to self, Bugtopia. Okay.
And listen, it's hot outside, right?
Yes.
And we're at the Florida Aquarium. So starting on June 1st, beginning every single day, they're offering it now, but on June 1st, they're going to offer it every single day through the summer season. And it's a program called Sea Trek. And this is walking underwater. One of the coolest things I've ever done here in Tampa Bay. And we get to do a lot of cool things. It's one of those like little job perks, but it was an incredible experience. And you don't have to know how to scuba dive.
That was going to be my next question, because you know I can't swim, Laura.
No, and you don't even have to know how to swim. It's a pretty cool experience. You literally, I think the requirements, they said you have to be at least 10 years old.
Okay,
You have
check.
to know how to breathe. You have
Check.
to know how to walk. That's it.
Check. Okay, I
And
got
it's
this.
so
Then.
cool. So you go into the Heart of the Sea exhibit, you check in, they give you a wetsuit and some shoes, and you go up, you get your safety briefing, put on your air tank, and you get in the water. And this is when they put this, it's 72-pound helmet. It feels heavy as you're above water, but once you go in, it feels weightless practically.
Okay, next, my dear.
All right. So another thing, one of the last things on our list here, obviously we could go on for hours and hours and hours and talk about some amazing things, but kayaking, we have some really cool kayaking experiences, whether it's on the seawater or on our springs. And one really cool area to go kayaking is on Weeki Wachee on the river. And I like that because the water is a little cooler. It's a spring-fed river from Weeki Wachee Spring State Park over in that area. And a few tips though, obviously in the state park area, you cannot get out of your kayak, but they don't want you to ever get out of your kayak when you're there to swim, because when you're getting out and you're stomping on the seagrass, that's food and habitat for the animals. They really don't want you to do that. Don't swing from the trees. It's just, no matter where you are, state park or not in the state park, just don't do it. Enjoy the kayak going up and down the river, and then come back. And if you want to swim, go over to Weeki Wachee Springs State Park, Buccaneer Bay. It is amazing. It's a natural water park. They have water slides, and there you can get in the water, or even over at Rogers Park. But just stay in the kayak, enjoy the beautiful scenery, and just dip your wrist in, because that really, just doing that simple act of dipping your wrist in the water, it does make you feel cool when it's hot.
Okay, that's interesting that people, so not only stay in your lane, stay in your kayak.
Stay in your kayak, because we want to protect this beautiful gem of a natural resource we have in Tampa Bay for future generations.
That is very, very true. I mean, I don't think some people, I think they get so caught up in the moment, but there's a
the other people doing it.
Yeah. But there's a responsibility. I mean, like you said, we are trying to protect, we're trying to preserve, and make sure that those inhabitants that are there have what they need. Yeah, we got to be responsible. I agree with you.
I know it's tempting, and you want to get that Instagram shot of you swinging from the trees and into the water. Just don't do it. It's not good for the trees. It's not good for the environment. And, quite frankly, it's dangerous, because you just
everything ain't for the gram. That's right. Yeah, that's true. And like you said, you can go over it if you want to do that kind of stuff. There are places to do that.
Watch Spring State Park. There are places to do it, and it's not far. We did it, made a day of it, and it was an awesome experience. And it's I highly recommend doing it. And then you can go see the mermaids too. The Little Mermaids coming out. So why not go see our real mermaids as well, right?
I cannot wait for that. I am like,
yes, I'm excited too.
I am and so proud of Haley. I'm just real. Not only that, but then I saw the preview for Color Purple for December. Cannot wait. I cannot wait. So I'm just very proud of all the things that she's doing.
Yes.
And speaking of being proud, my dear, another issue is about to hit.
Yeah, the June issue. We've got Big John the dinosaur on the cover. Very exciting. Obviously, this is one of the biggest things happening in Tampa Bay this summer, so it had to be on our cover. And the family feature, they're the LaFace family of Ricc Construction. They're one of the major presenting donors of, or sponsors, excuse me, of the exhibit. So really, we're able to help make that happen. And it's just a really cool exhibit. So we're giving you an inside look there just to help you map out and plan your day, but also just talking about some other fun things to do in Tampa, even over in Orlando. And of course, a lot of safety tips as well when around water. And so it's definitely a fun issue. And if you don't have the paper version of it, we have the digital version online at tampabayparenting.com.
And here is the QR code coming right now. Did not mean to cut you off. Tell them one more time where they can go, Laura.
tampabayparenting.com.
Okay, just point your camera right now. It'll sit up there for a while. Now, Laura, I'm going to ask you like my good friend Jennifer Hudson does. Will you come back and see me real soon?
Of course.
This is National Chip Your Pet Month. Now, if you're like me, I don't understand the whole process of chipping, but I know it's necessary. And so, who better to explain to us than our pet vet, Dr. Nabuki,
Hey,
who's in the
guys.
house, and this is our special guest.
Luna. We are a 1-year-old French bulldog, also known as a Frenchie.
So we're just doing Frenchies abounding today.
Yeah, and she's very calm while you hold her.
look at-
However, if we were to put her down, she would do the zoomies and run everywhere. Yes. Allez.
So let's talk about why we need to chip, first of all. Because there's somebody that says, why do I have to do that? My
Yeah.
dog is always in my care.
Yep. So, especially down here in Florida, we get hurricanes, okay? So we get natural disasters, and elsewhere in the country, you get different ones too that you don't plan for. Also, fireworks, they can scare pets, like July 4th. That's one of the biggest days
and that's
where
coming
pets
up.
go missing, okay? So in those events where your pets get scared and they may take off, you need a way to identify them. And legally, the best way is with a microchip because you simply plant it under their skin. It's about the width of a grain of rice,
Okay.
but about 3 times as long as the normal grain of rice. So we
Okay.
have one. We'll show you guys what that looks like. But we put that simply right here under their skin, right here in between their shoulder blades, with a needle, and then it stays there for life. Now, we put it here, but that doesn't mean it's always going to stay there.
It may move.
It can actually move. I've had some move their way down the leg here because of gravity, just sort of
Okay.
gravitates downward. But yes, we have a microchip scanner that we scan to make sure they don't have one. We put that in under the skin, and then it stays there for the life of the pet, and it gives you your very own personal serial number that is your pet's forever and ever and ever.
Okay, so here's the question that popped into my head. When I thought of chipping, I thought of almost a homing device or a tracking device. That is not what it is.
No, so that is an astute observation because a lot of people will be like, oh, I want that microchip so I can GPS my animal. And we have to specify that is not the case. It is not a GPS device.
Okay.
You have to, whoever finds your pet has to bring them in to an animal shelter or veterinarian. Then we have a microchip scanner.
Okay.
This is generally what the universal scanner looks like. And we put this on the back of their neck and we scan like that. This pet is not beeping, so it does not have one. However,
Luna,
if
we're
it,
gonna have a conversation
yeah.
with your parents.
so if it's there, it will beep and then it gives you a barcode on this screen and that's the serial number.
Okay, so earlier you were talking about that. So this is what it looks like,
Yeah.
right?
So right here, that little thing right there, that's the microchip. And we put that between their shoulder blades.
Okay, and so it is inserted
Yep.
with this.
So yeah, so it's inserted
Your assistant did it.
with this, okay? So it's a little syringe, okay? We take off the cap up here and we actually just put it under the skin right there and we leave the microchip. And usually it is a little bit bigger needle, as you guys can see there, a little bit bigger than a vaccine needle. And the reason for that is so the microchip can slide through it.
Okay.
And we usually do that when they're sedated.
Okay.
So spay, neuter, dental, usually that's when we do it.
do it.
However, we can do it while they're awake. It's simply just,
Just like a little pinch.
it's a little pinch. We let pet parents know, hey, we're gonna do it. They may cry just a little, and then after that, they're good to go, and it heals and stays there.
Okay, so once that's done, and you said it may possibly move, but it's still effective.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
So
because
they can't go. So the parent wouldn't be like, well, I'm insisting that it must have been here.
Yeah.
It's just I know my pet has been chipped.
yeah, and that's where we start. We start on the back of the neck there and the shoulder blades, but because of this flat panel, we actually sort of get the whole area. So even if it gravitates, we'll be like this, so then it'll get picked up. And here, if you want to hold that syringe, I'll show you what it sounds like. So if you scan it, it goes boop, and then you get a barcode there, a little serial number, so you get it. But yeah, it goes boop. That's what we want to hear when we
and
scan
so
it back.
in here, I think it's interesting. So this is for the pet.
Yeah, so there's a little tag that you can put on their collar, little
So
house,
let's see little
yeah,
housey.
little house tag, and then you can put that on their collar, and that will signify, hey, definitely check them for a microchip because they have one.
Okay, and
Yeah.
the other one is this is a little ID card?
Yeah, it's a little ID
Okay.
card you can carry in your wallet
Okay.
or at home.
Now, I noticed something. So this is a key tag. It has a key tag
What's the key? Is this for the owner too?
So it just signifies that you can get a keychain and
Oh, okay.
put it in there if you'd like to, just to carry it around. But this is just a model, just to show you guys like what it looks like. You
Okay.
typically don't get these at
Okay.
home,
I thought
but you
that-
can
okay.
if you want to. You can just get a little empty keychain and put your little tag in there, so you know, like,
Okay.
hey, this is for
Okay.
home again and stuff. So you have that, but usually you don't need it. You got your card for your wallet. You
Yep.
got the tag for the collar, and that's usually it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but the main thing too is when you get it put in, make sure that your vet updates your information online. Okay, when you put the microchip in. If they don't, then you'll have to do it yourself.
Okay.
And so, and if you move in the future,
That's what I was going to ask you next.
Yes.
Okay, because it's not going to automatically
Nope.
update, right?
Nope.
Because again, it's not a GPS for the pet.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to call them. So make sure that you call them when you move and you update your information. So whenever anybody scans it, they know like, oh, okay, this is your accurate phone number and this is your accurate address. Because far too many times have we had pets come in with a microchip and there's no information at all on the microchip.
Oh wow.
So like we'll call the company, we'll be like, hey, we need their info, and they're like, we don't have it.
We don't have
And
it,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh man. So make sure there's something on
Always
file.
update, yeah.
Yeah, but always update it. Yeah.
Okay. So last and final words that you think that we should know about microchipping and what people forget to do in the process.
So this goes back to our disaster or hurricane
Right. Which
preparedness
we talked
topic.
about last week. Yeah.
Planning ahead. Really, microchipping your pet is one of the best things you can do to plan ahead, because it helps you find them, and it also proves that the pet is yours legally.
Okay. That's interesting that somebody would, that does make sense. So okay. And so, again, it's not a real painful process.
No, not at all.
And
no.
you normally do it when they're having some other procedure done, but we can do it if necessary just to get it done, because now that you've seen it and you know that your pet is not microchipped, you need to get in here.
That's right.
Royal Pets or wherever you go, but it needs to be done, because we'd hate for this adorable baby to be lost
Yep.
and not be able to find her home again.
Yeah,
okay?
because I guarantee you, if they can't find this one's family, this one's getting adopted. This one's really cute. This
Easy.
one, right away.
Easily.
Yes.
All the cuties go first.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So for more information about microchipping, and if you need to do it and you don't know where to go, well, now you do. Royal Pets. Here comes the QR code, and more Going Places right after this. Say goodbye.